everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Orange Report, the news and views you can use from around California and Orange County. I'm your host, Kira Davis. I am the host of Just Kira Davis, the podcast, and author of Drawing Lines, Why Conservatives Must Begin to Battle Fiercely in the Arena of Ideas. I am also a 16-year Orange County resident, a mom, and I ran for school board in 2022, and I lost. And now I'm doing this show because what I learned in 2022 is that Orange County has a lot of interesting things going on, but not just that. There's a lot of shady stuff going on here. And we sort of get a pass on it because we're the red jewel in California's crown. And people sort of think things are okay here, but they're not. They really aren't. And so that's why we started this show. So the new year, we're really going to get going. We are having a launch event next month. So definitely stay tuned for those details. It's going to be a fabulous party. All the best people are going to be there. And let's see, we have a Give, Send, Go. You can go and check that out. If you're looking at me right now and you're saying, well, she's a little shiny, or the background looks a little off, or I don't know if I really like these graphics. Yeah, same. We need money to up our game a little bit. What we need to do is get into our own space. And so that's where the fundraiser comes in, because we're not playing around here. We're not pretending. This isn't a project. This isn't a school project. This is serious because I believe in our county. I believe in our state, actually. And I believe our state is worth saving. And I believe that Orange County is the key to saving this state. And I don't see enough people talking about the things going on here. There's a lot of you out there, and I appreciate you. I see you and I appreciate you. And I want to add to your voice because we're under duress here in Orange County. I don't know how else to put it, just like the rest of the country. But a lot of people like to ignore us because we're California and they think we voted for it and we deserved it. But I'm not quite sure we did vote for all we're getting. So that's what the Orange Report is. Go and support us at Give, Send, Go. Get me better lighting. Get me a better studio. You know, I'm not replacing the showrunner, though. He's my son and he's really good. But anyway, we're really happy to be in 2026. It's going to be an interesting year. Today's show is, I don't even want to say a little different because we're kind of just getting going on this whole thing. We're just sort of working it out. But when I was preparing show number 2, I did a report with Mayor Steve Knoblock of San Clemente. My good friend Judy had suggested that I reach out to him. She told me about some of the issues that were going on along the shoreline in San Clemente. And she said that Mayor Knoblock had really been struggling with how to handle the security measures in the face of California being a sanctuary state. And I did interview him, and I've known Steve for a little bit, but I hadn't really sat down and talked to him about exactly what's going on in San Clemente. And I was surprised and not a little bit concerned. I was shocked to learn that San Clemente is dealing with a ponga boat invasion. Do you know what the ponga boats are? They're those little Mexican fishing boats. And the irony is that President Trump's done such an incredible job at closing the border that now they're coming in through the sea. And the first available stop is San Clemente because there's Camp Pendleton right there. So I was shocked to learn that ponga boats have been landing with regularity in San Clemente on those gorgeous beaches where your children play, where your athletes train. By the way, where we're supposedly having the 2028 surfing Olympics. I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to do this while pongas are washing up on our shores with illegal immigrants in them. The governor of California hasn't mentioned anything about this. He hasn't said a single thing, except that we're a sanctuary state and he's going to defy ICE and defy Trump. Meanwhile, illegals are washing up on the shores of San Clemente and running to unmarked vans. And where do they go from there? We don't know. Where do they go from there? Certainly they go into California. I pulled some numbers. I was looking at some numbers. 1 in 9 people in Southern California, not Orange County, but all of Southern California, 1 in 9 people are undocumented, as we say. I don't want to say that word anymore, actually. I think that's massaging the language, and I think we're done with that in 2026. We'll call them what they are. We'll call them what the government calls them, illegal aliens. 1 in 9 people are illegal aliens in Southern California. There are currently in Orange County, 23,000 deportation orders being waited waited on being executed. 23,000 waited on being executed right now. There's a 40,000 person backlog, a 40,000 case backlog in Orange County, in Santa Ana right now. 40,000 cases backlogged in their immigration system. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, estimates are that the deportations we've done so far, I find this very interesting and I want to bring this up to you. Deportations so far, because I looked this up, I Googled it, and Google's not real diverse, shall we say, with their information. So I got a lot of massaged information, which I found actually equally interesting. So I found 160 million. They expect $160 million loss in labor income for the state because of ongoing deportation efforts from ICE, and 260 million in lost economic activity here in Orange County because of the ICE deportations. That's how everybody's framing this, everybody on the left. And what it made me think was how much of that money would go to Native Californians and Native Americans. They just act like it's just sort of sitting there in the labor market, but every dollar that is earned or taken by an illegal immigrant is a dollar that is not earned or taken by an Orange Countian or an American. So I don't find those numbers very compelling, but I do find it interesting that they're that high. And this is how many people we have in Orange County alone. And I also find it interesting that Gavin Newsom's prancing all up and down the state, acting like he's some kind of tough guy, putting on blue jeans. When Gavin wants to pretend that he's somebody special, a tough guy, he puts on blue jeans. He looks like an absolute doofus in blue jeans, by the way. But he puts them on. He's been running around in his blue jeans and talking about how he's going to defy Trump. He's been threatening and suing Huntington Beach. And when Mayor Knoblock asked for help in San Clemente, the state told him we're a sanctuary state. And he faced a lot of protesters from the usual suspects as well. You're going to hear from him in just a minute. And here's the reason why I wanted to talk about this today on this show, why I decided to change the format. Because as I'm recording today, there was an incident in Minneapolis, and I'm sure you've heard of it by now, where a woman was shot and killed by ICE agents as she tried to run them over, and it's ignited a firestorm. Who knows what's going to happen by the time this gets to publication? But it was shocking, but not unexpected, because we have had Democrats and left-wingers and progressives stoking the fires of violence and war for months now, for months. So this is an expected outcome. When you label constitutionally appointed law enforcement as Nazis, and you gin up your base to view them as the enemy. And by the way, don't forget that we spent an entire summer of love in 2020 watching the left burn our cities down, burn down our schools and our neighborhoods, and they get bailed out by the likes of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. And what message did that send? It sent the message that all bets are off. All bets are off for citizens. All bets are off for Americans. They're not going to protect you. They're going to protect them. And that's the message that the state is sending to us here in Orange County and Mayor Knoblock in San Clemente. We've got LA on one side of us. We've got San Diego on the other. We're sandwiched in here. And no one's talking about us here in South Orange County, because a lot of people are focused on Huntington Beach and what's going on there. They're fighting the good fight, a heroic battle. But there is so much more going on in this county, and it's very serious. Are we supposed to welcome the world to San Clemente in the midst of this immigration chaos and violence, when our own government, our state government and others across the country have signaled to us that they have absolutely no intention of protecting the citizens, and they will only protect the illegals who crash our shores and try to kill our law enforcement? Folks, it's up to you and I to change this. It's clearly the cavalry is not coming. We're it. It's us. It's guys like Knoblock. Everybody's got to get in this game. I've been talking about this for weeks now. I've been talking about it for years, actually. It's why you should go buy my book. Everybody has got to get in this game. Everybody's got to do their part, but particularly here in Orange County, because we really have been left to our own devices. The state hates us, right? We know this. The state hates us here. And then we have rogue counties on either side of us. And the rest of the country thinks that we're just sort of a bunch of suburban dolts who, drive nice cars and star in reality TV shows, but don't have any real feelings about anything and don't have any real problems. And that's, of course, not true. So that's what we're going to talk about with Steve Knoblock. I recorded an interview with him before the new year, and it was interesting when the Minneapolis stuff popped off. I had taken that episode down. I didn't like how it looked. I wanted to make some adjustments, and I was disappointed because this is an exciting project for us, and we really want to get going. But I think it was a God thing, because when the Minneapolis story broke today, I thought to myself, this is the time when the world needs to hear what's happening in Orange County. They need to hear it now, before we get close to the Olympics and all hell is breaking loose. They need to hear it now, before Gavin Newsom announces he's running for president. They need to hear it now, because our citizens are under duress too. So I think you're going to really get a lot out of this interview with Mayor Knoblock. I learned a lot about him, actually. You know what? I had no idea how he got elected. He's got a great story about how he got elected. This guy is a hero. He's a hero in more ways than one. I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of good people in Orange County, and they're doing good work, and they need help. We need help. We cannot get to the Olympics and not have this problem solved, everybody. We can't. So America needs to know what's happening here. So I'm going to send you to this interview with Mayor Knoblock. I highly suggest you watch it. We're giving you the clipped version, but I'm going to post the full version. Before I send you there, though, a couple of housekeeping things. I need you to do some things for me. I need you to go and follow the Orange Report everywhere you can find it. It's at Orange Report OC everywhere. Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I don't think we have a Telegram yet, but some of you people are on Telegram, and we might do that. But for now, Facebook, we're just in the usual places right now. So I need you to go and follow those accounts, whatever platform you're best at. And then I want you to share the stuff from there and talk about these things. And then the other thing I would like for you to do is go to the Give, Send, Go. You see the link on the screen. All the links will be in the show notes. And become a partner with us. At least follow that campaign. If you can't afford to give, I totally understand, obviously. But what you can do is follow the campaign, and I'll also take your prayers. And if you would like to just leave a note to say you're praying for us, that's great. I was going to say it's just as good as money. It's better than money, I guess, but we do need money too, because God doesn't pay rent for some reason. So no, but I would love for you to go over there and to support us. We will take your prayers, absolutely, and your shares, your prayers and your shares, and also your donations, because Orange County is worthy of a great defense. This is our home, and she deserves the best. All right, and before I send you over there, this show is sponsored by Journey to Christmas Land, my podcast. Journey to Christmas Land is my cheesy Christmas TV movie podcast with my good friend Amelia Hamilton. We do a movie every week, and we just pick a Hallmark movie, typically Hallmark, but from other places across the Christmas land, as we call it, universe. And we just sort of break them down, and it's cheesy, good fun. No politics. I mean, no politics, just a total break from it all. And you get to go, and even if you don't enjoy the cheesy romance Christmas movies, you'll enjoy us talking about it. So go sign up to follow Journey to Christmas Land wherever you see it: YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook. Subscribe to our podcast, become a follower, and enjoy the magic of Christmas all year round. We have a good time over there. All right. Well, let's get to our interview with Mayor Knoblock. I want to thank the mayor for taking the time to sit down with me, and also for being patient as we get this story out. And I want to encourage you to really pay attention to what he's saying, and ask yourself what you might do where you are to help. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we come back from this interview. Here's the mayor. Well, I am here with San Clemente Mayor Steve Knoblock, and I am so proud to welcome him to the Orange Report. I wanted to talk to you, Mr. Mayor, about what's going on in your town with the Ponga boats and this immigration issue. But first, before we get started, would you just tell people a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Kara. It's good to be with you. My name's Steve Knoblock. I'm the mayor of San Clemente. I've been on the city council here in San Clemente about 7 years. San Clemente is the southernmost beach town in Orange County, California, right next to Camp Pendleton, which is in San Diego County. We've got about 7.5 miles of beautiful, pristine beach here in San Clemente. It's a great little beach town, and I'm honored to serve as mayor here in this town.
One of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about your city is because I think this is a national story. This actually isn't a local story. It happens to be in my backyard, but it's a national story because this is related to the authority that local cities like you have to protect your own borders. It's not just about what the state can do, the feds can do, even the county can do. But there are a lot of people who are in vulnerable communities who are having to deal with these situations all on our own. So would you tell people just briefly what's been going on there with the Ponga boats landing on your shores? What are the issues you're facing?
Right. Well, San Clemente is about 60 miles from the Mexican border. We're just north of San Diego. And for the last few years, we've been getting an occasional Mexican Ponga boat. Ponga boat is an open deck wooden boat, about 20 feet long. They're very low technology boats. Occasionally, we'd be getting Pongas with illegal Mexicans with drugs, human trafficking coming up on our beaches. Since President Trump has done a phenomenal job of securing the border, since he's been president, we've seen more and more of these Mexican Ponga boats coming up the coast and landing on our beaches. Kira, in the last year and a half, we've had about 30 Ponga landings in Los Angeles County and Orange County. Half of those Ponga landings, 18 of them, have been here on our beaches in San Clemente. And I think part of the reason is we're just north of Camp Pendleton. So these people coming up the coast, as soon as they get past Camp Pendleton, which is about a 20-mile stretch of the coast, obviously these illegal immigrants aren't going to land on Camp Pendleton because they wouldn't get a very friendly greeting. So they go just past Camp Pendleton, and as soon as they hit the San Clemente beaches, they turn right. They do a hard 90-degree angle right for our beaches, and they have access to roads. So what happens is these Pongas will hit the beach either in the daytime or at night, and there's vans waiting for them. We're a great surf town. In fact, the 2028 Olympics is going to be here in San Clemente.
Yes,
We're excited about that. We have great surf here. So we have surf cameras on our pier that constantly watch the beach and look at the surf. And I thought, those cameras are looking at the beach. If those cameras were simply directed toward the ocean, we might be able to detect some of these Pongas that are coming ashore and hopefully intercept them. So I recommended to our city council that we simply put these cameras that we currently have toward the water so that our citizens, which currently have access to the cameras, can also have access to the cameras. And if they see something that looks suspicious, they can pick up the phone and call our sheriff's department, Customs and Border Patrol, the proper agency.
So let me just recap. So your idea was to take these cameras that are already there, already in service. Your proposal was simply to allow the public to, when they see through those cameras, if they see something through those cameras, they can report it.
Exactly. But when I brought this to the council, we had a flood of what I call sort of left-wing globalist types that say, look, leave the Pongas alone. These people, let them come to our beach. What are you doing? But it's a danger. It's illegal to land your boat on our beach where people are sunbathing, surfing, bodyboarding, families are there. It's dangerous. It's a real public safety issue. In fact, not only is it a public safety issue, Kara, many of these immigrants have died and drowned on these boats. As the result of that meeting, the council said, we don't want to have to pay for the additional equipment. So they said, if the Customs and Border Patrol people will pay for it, maybe we're okay. So for the last 6 or 7 months, we've been meeting with the Customs and Border Patrol folks, and they've looked at all the locations to see where the cameras could be set up to properly intercede and see these Ponga boats in advance. And we, at our last council meeting, we authorized the city manager to complete the contracts to give them a lease to have access to our city property. We've gotten a lot of people are in favor of this. In fact, the homeowner associations that own beach property said, we will grant to the Customs and Border Patrol whatever permits or license that they need to place their cameras on our beach. So we've got a lot of community buy-in, a lot of community support. So there've been a lot of, from the left, from the globalist crowd, from the open borders crowd, opposition to this measure. But I think the vast, vast majority of our community supports it.
Let me ask you about the landings, particularly on the more populated beaches, like let's say Trestles. It's not a place where I would want to see a boatload of immigrants. I don't care what the makeup of it is, just a boatload of strangers roll up onto the shore. And then who's in the van? And they're scooting up to get in the van. Who's in the van? Are they armed? Well, these people are in our community. No one's thinking about the larger picture here. These people set foot on our sand and then they're in our community with whatever they're carrying with them.
That's exactly right. And a few years ago, we had a terrible spat of burglaries from a Chilean gang that targeted our inland community. It's been a major problem here in San Clemente, and it is dangerous.
A lot of people don't understand, but sort of the beach communities in Orange County are kind of the last line of defense when it comes to the immigration issue, because we're always the first hit. And I want to circle back to because this is fascinating me, Mr. Mayor, that people actually would come to your meeting and beg you to let criminal illegal aliens just wander onto the family shores of the most coveted, pristine beaches in America. You're going to find these beaches anywhere else. People pay a hefty price to enjoy these beaches. But I've been talking, Mr. Mayor, a lot to the nation on my national show about what happens when people set foot in the sand of towns like San Clemente. Then where did they go from there? It's not a California problem. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not a California problem. You may be tempted to make it so, but it's not.
No, you're absolutely right. These vans aren't local shuttles. They're designed for interstate travel. They can go north into California, into Arizona, Nevada, and then anywhere in the nation they want, and they can be there in a matter of hours. With our interstate system. So like you say, Kara, we're the last line of defense. They hit our beaches and then they're off to Lord knows where. And we have the ability to stop them, the desire to stop them, and they need to be stopped. And I can't say enough good things about the current administration and their efforts. We've been contacted by the White House Office of Intergovernmental Affairs saying, what can we do to help you guys in San Clemente do your job better with the immigration issue and the people that are hitting your beaches? And they've been very, very helpful and very cooperative. And I can't say enough about the willingness and the courage of the people at Customs and Border Patrol to help us out.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that informative and disturbing video. But it also goes to show you that in times like these, you've got to be able to think outside the box. What I love about Mayor Knoblock is that he didn't stop. He hasn't stopped. He didn't stop trying to figure out a solution to this. And that's how we all should be. And I know after the Prop 50 battle, a lot of us are discouraged. And it was discouraging. And a lot of people maybe want to sit out or give up, or it might feel like we're never going to win. But I don't believe that. I actually believe that 2026 might be the year that turns California around. And with guys like Mayor Knoblock refusing to cede the territory, I think we can do it. And that's what we all have to do. We have to refuse to cede this territory. Orange County is ours. It doesn't belong to the greedy politicians. It doesn't belong to the illegal aliens. It doesn't belong to the cartels or the Chinese or the woke idiots that have taken over our city councils across this county. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us. It belongs to you. Those beaches belong to you. Those beaches belong to us. That's why we're having the Olympics there. That's why everybody in the world wants to live in Orange County. It's not going to protect itself. That's clear. It's obvious. Everybody's going to have to get in the game. You see what Knoblock did. And that's what we all have to do. I keep telling everybody. That's what my book is about. Everybody's got to pick a battle. Pick somewhere where you get in. What the mayor wants to do is to give you the power to look out into the ocean and see what's coming in and call somebody. How are we going to deport 30 million people in 4 years? We keep getting this question from the left as if that means we should just not deport people at all. How do we deport this many people in this many years like this? Like this. One mayor at a time. One surfer at a time, looking through that camera and making a phone call. One mom on the beach at a time, picking up the phone and saying, there's a boat crashing our shores. One phone call at a time, reporting illegal labor or an illegal business. One at a time. And I know it's not sexy and it doesn't feel like it's going rapidly or quickly. But I think we've seen what happens when you just get lazy and pretend that the government is, just kind of going to go on autopilot and we don't have to pay attention to it anymore. A government for the people and by the people must be monitored by the people. That's how we keep them honest. We're all to blame for this. We took our eye off the ball. But here we are. We're paying attention. Orange County, are you ready? Are you ready to do what it takes to take our county back? Are you ready to look at guys like Mayor Steve Knoblock in San Clemente and say, yeah, me too. I'm going to do this too. I'm ready. I think the statistics I read to you at the top of the show, I think they should trouble you. I've got kids and they're grown now and they're looking for jobs and they're looking for work. And I know you have the same. I know a lot of your kids are living with you and you didn't think it was going to be like this because that's not how you were at that age. But all of the opportunity that Orange County once had to offer has been dried up, sucked up. Where did it go? Do you think it just disappeared? No, it was stolen. Do you want it back? I do. I don't want my children to have to move out of this county to have a life. I don't want to have to move to another state to visit my grandchildren. I know you don't either. I've already heard so many heartbreaking stories in Orange County. I hear them every day. I don't want that. But you look at these numbers that I read to you. Our children's legacy, our children's future is literally being stolen out from under them right in front of us. It's washing up on the shore and stealing their future, taking it to a white van and disappearing into the middle of America. San Clemente is the front line. That's where it starts. That's right there, right close to the border. Do you think those people are getting in the van and taking a trip to Costco? No, they're probably going to Omaha, New York, Florida. They're spreading across the country. So it behooves the entire country to pay attention to what is happening in San Clemente, but particularly here in Orange County. I think we need to be paying more attention as Republicans, as conservatives, and as Orange Countyans who are going to ostensibly be proudly hosting the 2028 Olympics. But I don't know how proud we'll be if there are shots firing off and drug cartels washing up on the beaches alongside our surfers. It's just unacceptable. That's not how Orange County does business. That's not how we do things here. By now, you must know the name Nick Shirley. If you don't, you surely will soon. Nick Shirley broke that Minnesota fraud scandal. But better than that, I think Nick ignited a wave of citizen journalism that I haven't seen since the Andrew Breitbart days. And that was like 2010, 2012. But Nick Shirley has lit a fire under people. And I can see a movement of citizen journalism starting. And a lot of people have been begging Nick to come to California because, if they found fraud in Minnesota, it's 11 billion times worse here. We all know this. We know this instinctually. Another reason why it's time for you to get in the game, folks, because we've just kind of been accepting things. We've just kind of been, well, it's kind of the cost of living here. I guess there's nothing we can do. We've all become desensitized to it and just sort of accepted it as life. And it's not. We don't have to live like this. So Nick Shirley went down to San Diego and he interviewed the mayor of El Cajon, Bill Wells. And Bill's kind of having the same problems we're having here in Orange County. So I wanted to play that video for you right now. Here's Nick. He's right now, as I'm talking to you, he's in San Diego covering this. Go ahead and play this video.
Who are you?
My name is Bill Wells. I'm the mayor of the city of El Cajon.
And here in San Diego County, we're seeing a lot of stuff happening here at the border. And you guys being a border town, how's it affecting the city here?
Since October, we've had over 250,000 drop-offs in San Diego, these street releases. The county of San Diego already spent $6 million on a migrant welcome center, which I'm not sure why we need that, but they've just allocated another $19 million for that. But, there are also costs that you don't see. Everybody that comes across, whether they're a citizen or not, is entitled to full health care. That even includes having sex change operations. That's an expense for the whole family. People that come over with kids are put up in hotels. Those hotels costs $8,000 to $10,000 per month, and that's paid for by the city. So these are expensive things. Now there's a bill in California that says that if you're an illegal alien, you can get free college tuition, even a 20% down on a house. These are things that American citizens are not getting.
So that's Nick in San Diego, and good luck to y'all. I mean, we got our own problems here. You know what I mean? We'd like to help, but we have our own problems. And then don't forget that on the other side of us, so our national audience might not understand this, but that's San Diego County. That's south of us in Orange County. North of us is LA County. Need I say more? I mean, we watched the city burn, and it's still burning, and we watched the riots, and they're not only are they a sanctuary city, my friends, they are a super sanctuary city, whatever that means. Like, you couldn't get more sanctuary than sanctuary city, but I guess they wanted to make themselves a super sanctuary city. So they've been doing all kinds of stuff there. They actually declared a state of emergency on behalf of immigrants this summer. So that's what's going on in LA to the north of us. And to the south of us in San Diego, you just saw that interview, and Nick Shirley's for sure going to be uncovering all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. And if you don't follow Amy Reichert on X, you need to, because she's doing the Lord's work down there in San Diego. She's going to be on this show for sure. So what I'm saying is, folks, we're trapped. We're trapped. Lunatics to the left of us and potheads and cartel to the right of us. We really are standing on our own here in Orange County. And we're not just standing against other nations. We're not just standing against Mexico, 40 miles away. We're standing against our own state, our own governor. We're alone. We're alone. So we need help from the feds. Like, we're literally alone. The state has told us they're not going to help us. The state has told Knoblock they're not going to help him. The city council, members of the city council are working against him. Protesters in his own community are working for the illegal aliens, not the citizens and the safety of their own children. We're trapped. So it really is important that we all pay attention to this. But we are struggling. We are under duress. So I hope you'll join the battle. I hope you'll join it with us here at Orange Report. You can go and find our Give, Send, Go. Please donate to that. That's going to help us do things like just upgrade our equipment and our software and get us into a studio. We don't have to use a smaller home studio. And then I can use my hands more, because I am a hand talker, not in the Newsom way, but in the cute way. And so we'll have more space. So please go check out our Give, Send, Go, partner with us. And please follow all our stuff, because we're going to have a blowout party next month, and you're not going to want to miss it. If you miss it, then you're not going to be one of the cool kids. So, I mean, consider yourself warned. I want to thank you again to the mayor for providing us with the photos and the video for this report, and for sitting down with us to talk to us about what's going on there in San Clemente. If you have more tips about what's going on in San Clemente, you can send us those at the Orange Report. We'll have all of our contact information on the screen right there. And once again, thank you to Journey to Christmas Land for sponsoring today's episode. I'm Kira Davis. This has been the second episode of the Orange Report, news and views you can use from around California. God bless you, Orange County. Bring on the sunshine.